Don, you talked so much this year about being calm and guys keeping their poise and staying collected. How did you guys do it at the end of that third period? You kind of collected yourselves in the overtime, had the puck most of the time.
Yeah, I just spoke with Craig Anderson and Oki about it as well, and the chatter on the bench was outstanding. I mean, we clearly were having trouble executing simple stuff tonight, and there was no yelling at teammates, there was no getting down on teammates. It was more supporting, picking up. I mean, we never lost the competitiveness, but so we were supportive in a competitive way. But it was nice to see that us as coaches, you want your players to play to a certain standard, and our guys took that a personal standard. They weren't playing to their personal standard, so we didn't have to do as much coaching in that regard. I mean, it was tough to watch at times because you got guys that just are having a tough time executing. But collectively, they felt, okay, we're not up to our standard, and they hunkered down, supported each other. We gave up our fewest chances, actually, amount-wise, in the third period. So that was, again, there was a collective focus there and a collective support, and that was nice to see, if anything.
Yeah, what does that mean to see that?
It's a lot to see that. Like I said, what I felt, you don't play and you don't execute well, but you find a way to get 2 points, is you can't diminish that, and I won't. It wasn't pretty, but they stuck together as a team. They battled hard for each other. They support each other, and they found a way. So, and I really do think we're starting, and especially with the leadership in that room, the guys have such a care factor that there's a standard that they felt they weren't achieving, and they took it personal. It's their personal standard. They're not doing well enough, and they just fought to survive and scratched and clawed through that. And they never lost sight of winning, and that's very, very nice as a coach to see that mentality.
What about the job Craig did in the first period when you guys, you could have been down 2 or 3-0, and he held you in there until you got the Gergenson's goal to get a lead?
Yeah, I mean, you can't understate that, at all. You can't overstate that. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was calm and confident. He read the shooters and the situations, moments before they were transpiring. So, he was key, and I think our guys rallied. Certainly, they did. They rallied around that.
Don, it was right before face-off when the news came out of Florida. Do you have any thoughts about what's going on with the decision by Joel Quenneville to step down and just the whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, my only thoughts are obviously for Kyle and the whole situation. I really can't think anything beyond that. I mean, I don't know what that experience would be and to live with that for so long. So I don't have any thoughts other than, again, for Kyle and anybody else that has gone through the hardship of that is really, I can't think past that, actually. So no, I don't have anything on that.
Asplund told us recently that him and Victor are best friends. How do you see that translating on the ice when they're together?
Well, that's why I put them out there together in overtime, because you sense that, you feel that, and then obviously you see it. So it was pretty neat to see those two connect. But it's it's always nice to have that type of camaraderie within your mix. And those guys they're such good friends and good people to everybody. So I think even that friendship will feed off in others and carry and bleed over into the rest of the group even more. So
I think there's 2 on Zoom here.
Don, you had maybe 3, maybe 4 shifts in the first period that were really, really long. One of them was like a minute and a half or more. Is that what led to a lot of the problems in the period, being out of position, maybe not being hard enough on battles because you were overstaying shifts?
I think there's a direct correlation with that. I think the problem that resulted in that, I mean, you could say that was going to be the inevitability if you stay long. So the problem was, not keeping short shifts. And then the result of not keeping short shifts is the obvious anywhere in the league. So yeah, that was a major error by our guys, and we even talked about that in the first period. to try to clean that up. But just another indicator of you're not on your game when you're staying out that long.
Artyom gets his first goal. How much could just maybe that goal be a springboard for him going forward?
Yeah, obviously we hope that is, because he is a guy that can score. We know that, and scorers, it's always the adrenaline, the feel, the surge you get from scoring is always big. So the hope, that would be the hope. But he works hard. He plays hard. He practices hard, and he earns everything. So we certainly hope for him that bumps him up even more now.
One more here.
Don, I've heard coaches say in the past that some of the best teams are player-led, and obviously it's still early in the season, but when you see the players talking about their collective standard and things like that, you talk about how you didn't have to do much coaching. How much are you seeing that among this team so far early, just about being player-led and guys that are really kind of focusing on each other, and as opposed to you having to step in and tell them to play to a better standard?
Yeah, I mean, the way I've coached and always have coached is I don't step in unless I need to step in, and I try to step in as little as I possibly can and get out of the way as much as I can. And I'm watching how much our guys need the coaching. When do they need the coaching? Where do they need the coaching? Instead of trying to coach everything. And the hope obviously is that these guys take over and are empowered, and the decisions they have to make on the ice are instantaneous. So if they're looking at me for decisions all the time, we're in trouble. And they need to read and react with their group of 5 on the ice or 6. And so it is a big part of our coaching is to really help them take over. I've told them from day one in training camp, it's their team. It's not my team. And I will continue to. I don't need to say that. I need them to feel that. And it's nice to see, again, as I talked about in the third period, they fought for each other pretty hard.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Don.